I want to thank some people before we go into other stuff. Besides, and the lovely Harley Quinn, by the way, gave me a nice car. A nice little car with her paw print on it, and I just rubbed her belly all over the place.
Forever.
But Charlie from Starkville, Mississippi, you've heard of this
Only
guy.
my blade could have earned honor in this gala.
Well, wait, why do you say it indignantly like that? Like he's running around on you with me.
Charlie from Starkville, Mississippi, when everyone accuses of sending me things to get on the air or sending you gifts, I mean, it's going to be Dark Side of the Ring Season 4 right here, this kind of stuff.
Oh, come on. There's nothing underhanded going on here. It's my birthday. It's a milestone. He sent some cool DVDs and a Roy D. Mercer CD.
Congratulations.
Well, what? I didn't even know.
What are these cool DVDs he sent you? He sent me cool DVDs. What's that?
Universal Horror. It's like the pantheon of Universal Horror features all the monsters on one DVD. So you got it right there. You know, you can take that. And you've got everything you could possibly need. And as I mentioned, but my favorite thing was because I've been a Roy D. Mercer fan for the past 30 years. And a CD of some of his greatest hits, although we do not know if it's the original Roy D. Mercer. I read a story on this in the East Tennessee newspaper, got 25 years ago, where the original Roy D. Mercer, who was from around those parts, started doing the phone calls. And then the underground cassette tape trading industry got a hold of them, and they became a big regional hit, and then it's believed that somebody else started doing them and trying to take credit for it, and they're the ones that got the record deal. I can't remember. It's been 25 years since I've read this article. But, how big a boy are you, Brian?
I'm not very familiar with the catalog of Roy D. Mercer.
Wait a minute. What? Oh, God damn it. Roy D. Mercer, Dutch Mantel gave me one of these cassette tapes in Smoky Mountain Wrestling 30 years ago, and I've still got the tape, but we used to play it in the car, and the audio was so bad you had to turn the thing all the way up. But Roy D. Mercer was a guy from East Tennessee that would prank call people and record it. And, you know, it like, guy answers the phone, he said, he has this so-and-so auto supply down there on Chapman Highway? Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, well, I come in there a week or two ago and bought a oil filter from you guys, put it on my vehicle, and it is damn defective, and I've blown my engine plumb up, and I need you to pay for it. Well, if you bring it down here, sir, we'll either give you a new one or we'll refund your money for if it was defective. Now, I need you to pay for my engine. What? Yeah, my engine done blown plumb up because of the oil filter. Well, sir, we can't pay for that engine. Well, if I have to come down there and whoop your ass, you're going to pay for it. Well, now, wait a minute, sir. Now, you're not going to be coming down here and whooping my ass. Well, if you don't pay for that engine, then as soon as my brother gets off work, I'll be down there and someone's ass will be whooped. And he'll stir these guys up. It's like Owen Hart, right? A Southern Owen Hart. And finally, guy, if you think you're going to whip my ass, then you come on down here. Well, I will as soon as my brother gets off work. Well, what do you got to bring him for with you? Well, he's got to bring me because you've done your shitty oil filters, done blowed my car up. Well, then bring your brother. My brother works here, too. He's right here. Oh, well, how big a boy is he? Well, he's big enough. Well, big enough to get his ass whipped. You see where this is going. They're very hilarious. Roy D. Mercer.
The greatest prank phone call or prank phone call artist of all time is Longmont Potion Castle. I've heard them all other than Roy D. Mercer, but I've heard that kind of stuff. Cherokee Boys, Tube Bar, Richard and Sal, whatever you want to say. Longmont Potion Castle is the Salvador Dali of prank phone calls.
Wait a minute. I thought that was one of the original group names of Glenn Fry and Don Henley before they became the Eagles.
No. That was Fluff Geffen until we get a contract. That was the name of that band.
No, or maybe, or was that Longmont Penny Whistle, possibly?
That may have been it. But Longmont Potion Castle is the greatest of all time. I encourage everyone to check him out. By far the greatest of all time.
Well, I didn't get one of his CDs for my birthday.
Because Charlie sucks.
he's your guy.
That's right. What am I saying?
Yeah, Frank the Collector sent me a couple of cool books, including Larry Matizik's 50 Greatest Pro Wrestlers of All Time, which I've never had a chance to pick up.
Oh, cool.
And sent a cool science fiction book for Stacy's birthday that was a couple of weeks ago. John Boucher, you rascal you, a program from Philadelphia. Gus Sonnenberg versus Dick Schickat in 1930-something. There's no year on it. John Fell is a crazy man because he not only has contributed to what I'm about to tell you here in a second, but also sent me a, well, it's hard to explain, but it's a piece of art that he's made incorporating names of the people that have been closely associated with me, heroes, friends, and fiends, that type of thing, and it was autographed by John and jacked up Jeremy Bagley, Lee Petrie, and Hot Rod Esty.
Ooh, that's an elusive autograph.
Boy, there's not many of those out there. And then Jeremy Bagley sent me a big check. No, literally a big check. It's about 4 feet long and 2 feet high. Because they and the other Cult of Cornette members all got together, and everybody's name is on the back of it. I'm not going to read the whole list because I can't see it right now because it's in the other room. But they all raised money for my 60th birthday and donated it to the WHAS Crusade for Children in memory of Bobby Eaton. And they gave me a large ceremonial check documenting same. So we got that.
That's awesome.
And the fine folks at nuts.com sent me a box of white chocolate toffee-covered cashews that I always rave about. So we had that going for us.
I'm sorry, but I
Stace and
cannot
I were going to
envision
go
anyone spreading an acre of pine trees with
to a
herbicide
restaurant
and expecting it to kill
here
the
very close
people.
to the house that has a hot
Now,
brown
Mr.
that I
B,
like.
well,
We're
can
trying
you
to get it
envision an
going
ass
like
whooping?
4 o'clock in the afternoon when there'd be
That's
nobody
what it's come
around.
down to.
But Michael Scriven, a member of the Cult of Cornette, FedExed me on dry ice 4 Emo's pizzas from St. Louis. So,
You're gonna eat those?
or am I gonna eat them? Are you out of your fucking mind? They're already half gone. I got into those pretty much. I had scratched plans to go out in the COVID-ridden public and ate Emo's pizza. And that's what I'm going to eat here again as soon as I get done with you, dealing with your shenanigans.
What if they have been poisoned?
They haven't been put. They're
You don't know.
wrapped. They're wrapped. They're packaged by Emos, and they're shrink wrapped, and then he put them on dry ice, and he sent them. It's the service that sends them anyway. He didn't just put them in a goddamn box and just scratch my address on there with a crayon. This was a professionally done piece of business.
You never know. I mean, this Michael Scriven, if that is indeed his real name, he could be a massive Kenny Omega fan, and this could be like, I'll show him. He's a sucker for birthday gifts.
Well, then
And pizza.
I'm playing pizza roulette. Apparently, only one of them's poisoned. I've had 2 so far, and I'm doing good. So,
This has been the Jim Cornette Experience, ladies and gentlemen.
Emo's Pizza is so good because it has the Provel cheese. Are you aware of this? Have you heard of this?
I'm not aware of it.
They invented Provel cheese, and you can Wikipedia this, kids. Google it. Provel. They invented Provel cheese in St. Louis specifically for pizza. It is a mixture of, oh God, it's a cheddar and provolone and Swiss and possibly some mozzarella, and it has a very low melting point, and it actually it's just the gooeyest, most succulent cheese ever. It just goos into your mouth. Oh, it tastes like no other. I'm so giddy. And they only got it in St. Louis. And Emo's Pizza in their 50 or 60 or 70 locations in the area is the only place you can really get this type of thing. So that's what I've been eating.
Can I say something real quick?
You're going to say something foolish about pizza, I guess.
I swear to God, I'm not. I'm actually going to say something before I forget because I've been so busy. I've been meaning to get in touch with these people, but you mentioned a couple of them. Thank you, John Boucher and Frank the Collector, for a recent stuff you sent over to celebrate the birth of my male heir. Thank you very much.
Your male heir.
That's right.
You know, I'm telling you, it's equal rights these days. It's no longer the firstborn son. Your firstborn daughter is probably going to make off with all of the last millions.
Everything is going to be laid out and specified who gets what, and it's going to be fairly equal, and I will be controlling things from past death.
You'll be controlling things from beyond the grave.
That's right, I'm not letting go. Once I'm gone, they still have rules they have to follow. So yes, that's true.
I hope you leave those instructions with Stephen P. New. Make sure he's one of those lawyers that will be reading the thing. Somebody tweeted, oh goddamn, now I can't remember the woman's name, but in Creepshow, the movie Creepshow, the segment where the guy comes back from the grave because he wants his cake. Hey Abigail, where's my cake? I'll be hunting for cake, and you'll be still manipulating the finances. Anyway, speaking of finances, the update on the all new JimCornette.com. We mentioned this on the drive-through this past week. I'm giving Hotchkiss one more chance since I've relieved him of 2 of his fingers. Now he's down to 9. We've already talked to a company that handles major online retailers, high-traffic websites. They can provide all the platforms. We've signed the deal with them. The things are being transferred over. And part of the reason why I did, because everybody knows I was at my wit's end. And that's not far away. It's an easy reach for me to go all the way to the end of my wits. And was just like, should we just ball this thing up now? But I will give an example. I have an email here, as you can hear, because it's in my hand, from Logan. This is why I'm giving it one more chance to
Champion,
adopt
over here.
This is the mountain we went to when Clarissa with the
people
storm.
like this right here. Logan says, a few weeks back I sent in an email asking if there was a way to get my Jim Cornette Presents Behind the Curtain graphic novel autographed. And you guys had the audacity to ignore my wants and needs. I listened to the podcast in hopes that maybe there'd be a spot that could answer my question. It never came. But then I heard about your website, and boy howdy was I getting excited to spend my hard-earned money that I stole from my wife's purse on all your products. Sadly, that never came through, and I saw your message on the website about how you're unsure about even keeping it going. I honestly hope you do decide to try again, and I really want you guys to, and I'm sure a lot of your fans would agree. You guys, I guess he's bringing you into this also. You guys are awesome, and you provide laughs and memories for people to relive. Anyway, whatever you decide to do with the website, I'll always be a supporter of yours. Thank you, fuck you, bye. So for... Because I was cussing and complaining to you about this. I said, oh, goddamn, it's the end of the world. We killed the business. Nobody's going to believe me again. I'm milking them now. If I try to do this website again, fuck it, I should just throw my hands up over the whole thing. But everybody appears to have taken it in good spirits. So we're going to try it one more time. October 1st is our target date. And we are finding out now because this is no longer a do-it-yourself piece of business. We've got to coordinate with their technical team when this site is going to go live. I don't know if there's a lag, so I'm not going to give a specific time. Excuse me. We're looking for October 1st, sometime in the evening Eastern, and more details possibly to come on the next edition of our fine programming here, which will be the drive-through in a couple of days.
Hey everyone, do us all a favor. Wait until the 3rd.
Well, you sneak in maybe on the 2nd. But anyway, provided this all works, and indications are it will, then the store will be up for some period of time to be determined based on how many orders we get, who's still maybe pissed off at me, or whether everybody, because the action figures, were the primary thing that sold to the 50-something people, that 52, I think, that were able to get in before we shut everything back down because it couldn't handle the traffic. And so now there's like 250 of the original action figures. So those are going to sell fairly quickly, we think. And we'll see how slammed I get, but I will cut it off before it gets to the point where I can't get everything out in a timely fashion for the holidays and etc. So I would encourage everybody, if you want to be sure of getting something, we're going to leave it open for a week again regardless. If I'm slammed after that, we'll make a decision. But the first week, you should be good to order something. And if you want it by Christmas, get it then, because I don't know how I'm going to be able to handle all this. All right. Anyway, what else we got here? This is my show, isn't it?
Thank God, this is your show. I have nothing to do with the question.
You have nothing to do with it.
I'm not even here.
It was Owen. I wasn't even there. I've got another email, real quick, from Tanya. And I think I'll open this because I will paraphrase that Tanya and her boyfriend Chris, they've been together for 8 years, and they've had a rough time because Chris lost his best friend this past May, and now they've just both recently lost Louis, who was a 12-year-old Pomeranian. And they listen to our shows at dinner every night.
Don't go back and forth with that shit.
Their appetite. Maybe they're trying to be on a diet. But no, they listen to us at dinner so that they can laugh and after shitty days, and our show is important to them. So I just wanted to say, Tanya and Chris, we're sure sorry about Lily and Chris's friend who is unnamed in this email, but at least wait till dessert to listen to us, though. I'm afraid we'll throw your digestive system off.
Especially if they're listening to your thoughts on food.
Hey, you didn't even know what Provel cheese was.
I thought I was on mute still. I apologize.
Can you mute yourself again? I'd have a nice conversation if you wouldn't interrupt me. Well, I guess something that's topical this weekend especially is wrestlers acting like idiots on airplanes. And we're going to talk, obviously, here just shortly to Evan Husney, one of the creators of Dark Side of the Ring. But I've heard the story of this flight, and I've been around wrestlers and or the wrestling business for 40-something years, and still, when it's put in front of you with visual recreations and firsthand, because I wasn't on the flight, thank goodness, firsthand testimony, it gets even stupider. And a lot of people, and we're going to explore this throughout the program and the interview with Evan, a lot of people have said, oh, well, this is the way wrestlers used to act, and they don't anymore. Well, that may be true, but it's not the way that wrestlers always used to act. Again, there's a disconnect between what people think the wrestling of the territory days was, what this was, and what the cleaned up version is now. The point is, I've been on planes in the 80s and 90s, private planes and commercial planes, with a lot of wrestlers, including some of the individuals that were on this flight. And I've never seen shit like that before in my life. And I don't know, I think I know, and we'll talk about this, some of the reasons why that guys started acting that way then. But I want to recount some of my more innocent plain stories, just to give you an idea of in the 80s, when I first started flying with wrestlers to begin with. It was a different, it was before 9/11. You know, we've told funny stories about how, you know, they just hand out guys tickets if they left the territory, and I would fly as Ole Anderson. Or the Barbarian's ticket would be written out as A/Barbarian to kayfabe his real name.
I'm also
and
a crew.
it passed, it flew.
They don't look too good. I should see if they're okay.
Were not going on commercial flights with the thought of attracting even before 9/11 and all the extra security, with the thought of attracting the fucking attention of federal authorities by fucking up in some kind of spectacular way. And whenever somebody would, infrequently, you heard about Chris Adams, right? He went to court. Did he go to jail?
Signal's coming from boxes to the back of the plane.
Drunk on a long
It's
flight,
calm,
headbutted the flight attendant, blah, 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 but that was not like ordinary behavior amongst all the hundreds of wrestlers that took thousands of flights in that era. Right? There wasn't a lot of that shit.
Every now and then you hear a story about like guys like Funks or Buck Roper or someone coming back from Japan and maybe having a good time on that flight, but it was never nothing to this level, obviously.
Copy that.
Like you said, it
Cargo
wasn't like
ground
everyone was
schedule.
doing.
Over.
No! And, I mean, you know, as I said, I've been on, we used to do harmless things. And I hate to tell stories twice, yeah, sure, but no, I do. There's so many new listeners, and it's been a few years since I've told some of these stories, but each other on a commercial flight, sometimes, yes, but not in a goddamn way that would require the intervention of the authorities in most cases. And Hennig, he was always a river, right? I've told a story, Stan Lane's, the fabulous ones, they're the AWA, they're on a plane going somewhere, and Stan's wearing the Zubaz and free-balling, as most all the guys did, and he's with both hands shoving his carry-on bag in the overhead. Well, there's this businessman in a suit and tie sitting on the aisle seat, right? He's reaching right over him. And Hennig sees the opportunity. Both of Stan's hands are busy, so he just reached over across the aisle and fucking grabbed Stan's Zubaz and passed him down to his ankles, and Stan's fucking member is dangling in the fucking guy's face. No, no, no! Hit one hand on the bag because it weighs 40 pounds and one hand trying to reach for his pants. It's funny, I'm sorry. The guys are fucking with each other. But nobody needed to go to jail over that, or rehab, or whatever the fuck. Stan used to get me. He got me one. I told this story at some of the live shows. Back then, especially early morning flights, I've always hated flying. I've always been terrified of it, especially questionable weather, whatever. So I would stay up most all, if not all night, and so I would be exhausted and try to go to sleep on the plane so it would pass by quicker, right? And I would always have plenty of reading material, books and magazines. So I would sit in my little cocoon in my seat, and I'd close the window shade. And I'd try to be on the aisleway where I had some air coming to my face, and I would immerse myself in whatever I was reading. And if it was a smooth flight, I would nod off. Well, sometimes Stan would do the thing, if he's sitting behind me, he'd roll a magazine up where he had some reach, and he would reach up, and he'd ding the fucking call button for the stewardess. And I, you know, you do the things all the time, so it doesn't really wake me up, but then she comes over and stands over, yes, sir, what? And then if you did that to anybody, 2 or 3 times, then the stewardess is pissed. They think that you're yanking their chain, blah, blah, blah. One time, Stan goes in his bag, because I've fallen asleep with the People magazine on my tray table, and my head's just down. I'm just, oh. He goes in his bag and gets a Hustler magazine, and opens to the most gynecologically graphic centerfold, and reaches around me and slides that People magazine out and puts that magazine over the tray table instead, and it looks to the casual observer like I'm staring intently at what looks like
Spotted.
And every time somebody walks by me on the way to the picture, women, there's a whole woman that stands there after the fact look like she's on the plane. And finally the stewardess comes up and gives me the hit on the shoulder, and I wake up and I see the goddamn magazine. I'm and all the time. Nobody was harmed in the making of that movie. That's what the guys used to do. I mean, yes, there's always been somebody's going to have some kind of fucking issue. But on commercial flights because we're around the general public and we can't see ourselves. I watched that profit plane. There would have been a perfect place to abuse the privilege. They started expanding night. Or one time we actually did on a Sunday, we were playing in the morning, Baltimore at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Philly at 7:30 that night. It was fucking insane. And the commercial flights weren't doing it anymore. You could get them from here, so Crockett invested in the G1, a Gulfstream 1. There was an old on a private basis. It was probably 20 years old at that point. It was probably customized inside. It was a 14 chairs and a couch and a TV with a VCR and a fucking stereo system. And which was better than some of the drives in this airport. And still get home that night. Bill was on all of those flights because it was the top 14 guys until Crockett ended up getting a fabulous jet the next year because the G1 was a prop jet and its top speed was about the same as my goddamn Ford Expedition, it seemed like. It took forever to get set, especially with a headwind. With a headwind, you were fucked. But he got a jet the next year, and then the top 10 guys would go on that, and then the next 14 would go on what we started calling the jabroni jet. The point is, when all those guys were on the plane, Dusty, Magnum, Wyndham, Flair, Arn, Tully, Luger, Road Warriors, Ellering, me, Midnight, Rock and Roll, whoever was on the plane. First of all, on the way to the show, there was no alcohol on the plane. So it wasn't like anybody was tempted. The deal was that we had that plane to make our lives easier. Not only make it able where we could get to these shows where we make these ridiculously large payoffs that we were making when business was booming, but we could be home that night earlier if, normally we wouldn't be back till the next day. So the guys didn't want to fuck that up. And also, it was just like being in the locker room. We were all amongst ourselves. I mean, Arn used to pointedly, give those jabs to Nikita because they used to joust verbally because Nikita started out using his goddamn Russian accent on the plane when it was just us boys, right? And at one point, Arn said, "Cue ball, we know you're from Minnesota. Drop the accent." But Nikita was really into it, right? But it was a locker room atmosphere in that on the way to the town, nobody's drinking, and we got to work that night. But everybody's talking and laughing and whatever. And then when we got there, the pilot's name was Freddie Floyd, which was not a rib on Freddie Joe Floyd or the Briscoes or whatever. That was his name. And he'd been flying guys in the Carolinas. He was a private aircraft pilot. He'd been flying guys for years. He had a ton of experience. And he always booked a co-pilot. And when we would go to the town, or go to the matches when we landed in the town, we'd give them money and they would go out, and if the guys wanted food, it might just be a big box of chicken. But, the guys wanted beer, they'd give them money, they'd go back and get whatever, and they would have it waiting on the plane when we got back from the show. Usually either take cabs to the show and then get rides with the girls back, or whatever. And then, that's when everybody would drink, but it was beer. It wasn't like everybody was with their own personal bottle of Jack Daniels. And if guys were doing pills, I'm sure Hawk was. Because he often would get, "Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?" But they did it on their own. There certainly was no hypodermic.
message.
The North think he can decide what we're all doing. Man, sets up for no one else there. I say that. There she is.
I should read Denora's contract. Wouldn't want to miss any crucial info.
Jesus. Oh, I was just stretching. Ooh.
Well, since all you have been so respectful to me, I would like to return in kind. Oh, Canada, how I hate this place. Oh, Canada, I'm gonna get Hulk Hogan out of the place. All right, I'll admit it. I'm no singer. But what I am is a showstopper, a headliner, a main event, the icon of the WWE. Yours truly, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam. I promise, no, better yet, I guarantee. give you and the WWE fans something to remember. And of course, all of you here in Montreal know that I'm all about it. You know I'm all about giving you memories. Survivor Series 1997. I handed Canada's own Bret the Hitman Hart his most miserable defeat. You want it, right? You're not gonna get it right because I screwed right. I did it once, and I do it again. If Bret the Hitman Hart had any guts, and he walked down that aisle tonight, into this ring, and looked me eye to eye like a man, I'd say, Hitman, I screwed you once, and I'll screw you again. Because Bret, got your hopes up just a little bit, didn't I? You will never, and I mean ever, hear or see Bret the Hitman Hart inside a WWE ring again. You will never, and I mean ever, hear or see Bret the Hitman Hart inside a WWE ring again. Hulk Hogan, I did it to Bret Hart, and at SummerSlam, I'm I'm gonna do it to you. You see, well, all these Montreal Canadiens despise about the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels is that I'm everything they wish they could be. I come out here with my live microphone and I do what I want when I want to do it. Let's face it, Hulk Hogan, it's the same thing that you don't like about me. I'm unlike anybody you've ever had to deal with. Well, at SummerSlam, brother, what you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do, brother?
Wait a minute.
Oh my, now, come on now. The first time, sure, maybe I'm cruel. The second time, all you do is show the entire world that Montreal is everything I ever said it was. You Canucks are not the sharpest knives in the drawer. You don't like me very much, do you? I know nothing would thrill you more than to have one of your heroes like Bret the Hitman Hart or Hulk Hogan come down that aisle and just give me what for. But guess what? It isn't gonna happen. And I'll tell you why. One, nobody in this industry can touch me. And two, your heroes like Bret the Hitman Hart and Hulk Hogan, they're not even here yet. They're such big WWE superstars that their limos don't bring them to the show until it's already in progress.
These fans in Montreal wishing that Shawn Michaels would say goodbye. Shawn Michaels isn't going anywhere, and I personally, I love it. And he's on a sit-down strike now until he gets shot. He's going to get comfortable. Feels like he's got all night. Well, he does. He's been playing with him so far. Why should he stop now?
Now that you understand who's running this show, I'll continue. Hulk Hogan, the same thing I despise about you is what I despised about Bret Hart. You stood for some moral fiber that in your real life did not exist. Yet you stood in judgment of me. And you, Hulk Hogan, well, you stand for just about anything. There isn't a realistic bone in your body. Hulk Hogan, you're the biggest star in WWE history. And at SummerSlam, I want you to bring your big star. I want you to wear your boa. I want you to have your sunglasses on and your chin held high. Nice language. Do you teach your children the same talk? You do. Yet every one of you Montreal Canadian men do nothing but stand there and talk it while I walk it. Hulk Hogan, at SummerSlam, you're one move from your star being snuffed out. You don't believe me? Just ask Bret the Hitman Hart.
And some caustic remarks by Shawn Michaels, who in 6 days will meet Hulk Hogan for the first time ever. It'll be at SummerSlam. The guy is so full of himself, I've never been even Hogan, the immortal Hogan, can deflate that ego. Well, just like Shawn Michaels just said, he not only talks it, baby, he walks it each and every time. And Shawn Michaels is going to walk it this Sunday at SummerSlam. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of Hulk Hogan, tonight, live.
Since Survivor Series, Shawn Michaels hasn't had a lot of sleep. There's a lot of controversy surrounding what happened at Survivor Series. I never thought that it would end that way. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels have had their differences both personally and professionally. But never in my wildest dreams did I think that it would come down to this.
Perhaps the Hitman will apologize for his actions. Fat champ. First of all, I want to apologize. What? I'd like to apologize to all my fans over in Germany. I'd like to apologize to all my great fans over in Great Britain. Actually, I'd like to apologize to all my fans all over Europe, all over Japan and the Far East. I'd like to apologize to my fans in the Middle East, all the way as far down as South Africa. And I'd especially like to apologize to all my great fans in Canada. For what? And to you, my fans right here across the United States of America, to you, I apologize for nothing. You know, it seems really strange to me that no matter how much I try, that when I beat Stone Cold Steve Austin to a bloody pulp, I find myself, no matter how much I win, when I walk back to the dressing room, the way you American fans treat me across the United States of America, I feel like I lost.
Became famous too.
You think I've done this for free, like Steve Austin, beat him to a bloody pulp, even though he knows, and you all know that he lost. You cheer him on the way back to the dressing room like he won. It didn't just start right here. Let's go back to WrestleMania last year when I was the World Wrestling Federation champion. When that belt was around my waist, it's where it belonged. Cheered on a pretty boy like Shawn Michaels. And you allowed him to screw me out of the World Wrestling Federation championship belt. I find myself sitting at home watching the WWF on TV in Canada, saying to myself, Wrestling Federation needs a hero, they need a role model, they need somebody they can look up to. Not somebody that's got earrings all over himself and tattoos. Not somebody that posted for girly magazines. By the way, I don't think it was a girly magazine. I think it was a gay magazine. So I felt this calling for myself to come back and set the record straight and clean up the World Wrestling Federation.
Always tangled. I bet I can get through.
So I came back in the Survivor Series. And I beat Stone Cold Steve Austin there. And I think I garnered a little respect. Then I found myself stepping in the ring with Psycho Sid. And your hero, your pride and joy, Shawn Michaels, cost me the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. Nobody cared. Nobody did anything about it. You people can do anything about it. They say, oh, don't worry about that. You can get in line with 29 other guys, and you can go in the Royal Rumble. But being the man that I am, I got no problem fighting 29 other guys. So I went in the Royal Rumble, and I won. I was the last legal man standing in the Royal Rumble. But again, everybody just turns their back on it. Somehow justify in your mind that Stone Cold Steve Austin won. No, a better man would have quit. Maybe I should have quit, gone home. You did, Brett. That's what you threatened. I got Bill Monsoon and Vince McMahon on their hands and knees begging me to come back. Don't quit! Don't quit! Think of your fans! Now, I thought of my fans, and I came back, so they came up with this idea for the Final Four. The winner of the Final Four will get a World Wrestling Federation title fight at WrestleMania 13. That sounds good to me. I accept. I come back. And all of a sudden, your champion, your hero, Shawn Michaels, comes up with this life-ending, career-ending knee injury. And he forfeit the title so he can go home and find his smile. That's okay.
probably cold inside. Maybe this is
I
him.
defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I defeated The Undertaker and became the World Wrestling Federation champion for a fourth time. Then you come up to me when you're you get the best. Even though you're beat up and sore, you gotta go and fight. I put the title on the line, and I took Psycho's hit, and I got him in the big gun right in the middle of the ring, where he was the sharpshooter. All the way to the match, but my American wrestling fans
Looks like it's some sort of
somehow
chance.
justified